We're back at it again with another Battlefront update. So, the topic on everybody's mind this week obviously has been the Scarif update, and where exactly is it? DICE told us we'd be getting it in mid-April after it was delayed back in March. And guess what? We're in mid-April right now, and we haven't heard a peep from DICE at all about this. Then again, on the plus side, EA Star Wars has actually responded to the situation, but it's not exactly what everyone wanted to hear, let's just say that. So, along with this, we're gonna be going over on why exactly the Scarif update is taking so long to come out, new skin details that will be included in this update, and the search for a community manager replacement for Benoit continues. As always, we'll be covering all of this and more in today's video. And before we get into any of that, but a quick reminder, as if you do like these type of videos, then do remember to give it a like to show your support for not only this update series, but also the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. To start things off, the Scarif game update, where is it? After all of last week's talk and Benoit even teasing players online on Twitter saying CT when, it almost seemed a certainty that the community transmission and the game update would be dropping on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. Well, I don't know what to tell ya, we're in Thursday and as we all know, we've still got nothing. Actually, that's not true, we've got something to tell us that this little game of cat and mouse will continue. As yesterday, the EA Star Wars Twitter account confirmed that there has been yet another delay made to Scarif, and now the release date for it is late April. The plot thickens. Again, it seemed almost like a certainty we'd get everything this week based on it being mid-April like they told us and Ben's recent teasing. Because come on, why else would he be teasing us with the community transmission for Scarif to be dropping soon if it in fact in reality isn't? Like before back in March, it seemed everyone at DICE was ready for the update to be released, and then suddenly, last minute, something happened and they were forced to postpone everything. Clearly the same has once again occurred now, and what else is there left to say? It sucks, especially since DICE had 90 to 95% of the update content already done and ready to go back in March. Because remember, this stuff that they do doesn't take days to do, but rather they're working already on it months ahead of time. So they already had everything for the most part done and needed to apply the finishing touches. With that said, if they had so much already done, why has Scarif been hit with a second delay in a row now? And well, the answer for this might be pretty simple actually. They're just having trouble working on the game from home. I actually spoke with another game developer about this yesterday and they were in agreement with me on this, as DICE likely just don't have the proper software or the same powerful hardware they got at the studio back at home. And this obviously will cause trouble. Had the pandemic not happened, we would have had Scarif by now, but as it's looking right at this moment, DICE are struggling with simple things that they'd normally be able to handle no problem. Now, there are some conspiracy theories going online that this delay is the result of DICE quitting the game or the update keeps getting delayed because they keep adding new content to it the whole time. And to both of these theories, I have to say now they're as false as can be. DICE having trouble working from home has nothing to do with them planning to quit the game. Many other game devs around the world are also having issues right now. And with this twisted logic, that would mean that they too are planning to quit their games, which is not the case. As for the second theory, that's also a negative. Ben has stated before he's already written the Scarif community transmission weeks ago and has just been waiting to get the go-ahead to release it. So unless DICE are secretly adding new content to the game and they just haven't told him about it so he can update his transmission, then this theory is also not possible. Again, had the pandemic not happened, we would have got Scarif back in March, and maybe something new in April too, but seeing as Scarif has now basically become the April update, what about the stuff that was originally planned by DICE to release in April? Could we maybe get that included in the Scarif update too? Like I said, that's highly doubtful, and with the situation that it is at DICE due to the pandemic, they're probably going to hold off on that content to release later on, for say maybe the May or most likely the June game update. I know this isn't what people want to hear, but hey, things aren't normal in the world right now, and they certainly aren't in terms of Battlefront 2 game updates. Now, along with the delayed community transmission to late April, EA Star Wars also told us that the community calendar for April would also be coming out during that time too. Which, that part, I'm not gonna lie, is pretty shocking. The whole point of the community calendar is to tell us what in-game events will be held throughout the month. So what exactly is the point in holding that off to the end of the month when by then we should already know everything? No idea. I'm simply assuming right now the community calendar is the least of DICE's concern. And it's simply been put on the back burner due to other things taking priority, like finishing the game update. With that said, EA Tom has stepped up once again and provided us the next in-game event that will be happening. And that is a triple XP event for this weekend from April 17th to the 20th across all modes where available. Although I have to say, it is surprising how we do keep getting these small calendar updates from him always and not from the official EA Star Wars Twitter account, which at the moment should be where we're getting all the latest information, but not really, so yeah. Fortunately, we do have some good news to talk about here, as Ben did give us a little peek into what the Scarif update will contain, and that is regarding appearances. On Reddit, Ben confirmed that there will be at a minimum 2 villain skins in the Battle of Scarif update. Of course, based on all the teases and the hints dropped regarding a new Darth Maul skin, I think it's 99% safe to say that we will be getting exactly that. As for a second villain skin, it's either going to be something like for Vader or Palpatine. And I mentioned them because they're also in need of new skins. And seeing as the Scarif update focuses on the original trilogy, then it'd be very weird for them to be neglected and, let's say, Dooku and Grievous to get new skins instead. That's not to say we can't get like 5 new villain skins and Dooku or Grievous being one of them, because Ben only confirmed the absolute minimum we're getting and not the total amount. And based on past updates where Ben would confirm to us that we're getting so-and-so amount of minimum skins, yet in the actual update we got far more than that, then it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for this to happen again. So I'm not saying we're going to be getting more than 2 new villain skins for sure, but as past history tells us, the chances are good that we will. Now, regarding other news bits for the update, Ben also has confirmed that we will be seeing some new buffs and nerfs coming for the reinforcement classes. So this could mean that the ISB agent might be getting a damage buff, as that's so far been one of the biggest complaints I've seen made towards her since she was released. Along with her, I could also see DICE attempting to tweak the ARC Troopers again, as many people are still unsatisfied with them. Along with reinforcement buffs, Ben later revealed that the Cycler Rifle will be seeing some kind of improvement soon as well, which is great news for a good chunk of the community, who for the most part aren't fans of it. Sure, don't get me wrong, there's a small population of players who have learned to master the Cycler Rifle and love it, but it's still not a great choice for the masses, and this could soon change that. If so, then those who already loved the Cycler Rifle before, at its worst, will likely be seeing the most benefit from this. Lastly, since everyone is still asking about this, at the moment EA have still not hired a replacement for Ben. Ben was actually asked about this on Twitter from someone if we have a new community manager, and he replied to them by telling them not currently, which is more promising for him to say that than just a straight no answer. It means the hiring process for a new community manager is still ongoing, and as I mentioned in my last video, EA Star Wars definitely need a new community manager, especially based on all the new Star Wars games they're working on behind the scenes at the moment. However, as someone who did get hired by EA once before, I can attest that the hiring process for EA isn't a short one, especially for such a large role like this. Also, the fact that there is a global pandemic ongoing and that alone is slowing down everything isn't helping. To add to that, a community manager right now at this moment isn't completely necessary too. Ben already wrote the transmission for Scarif and will deliver that when he's allowed to. But after that, like I said, we may be waiting until May or June until we get anything new again from DICE. And only then will a community manager be needed again. So that's in my opinion when we'll be seeing a replacement for Ben be hired, in the summer. Now EA could hire someone new already next week for all we know, but that would be rather surprising. And seeing as they know they're not in any rush at the moment to do so, then most likely they're taking their time and trying to pick the best candidate possible. Because even if we were to get a new community manager, let's say next week, then not only would they need time to learn the ropes, but they wouldn't be able to tell us anything new either. Especially considering how much DICE are currently backlogged on making content at the moment. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.